It's David and Sarah, and this is Sarah Bella, and Sarah's agreed to come in and kind of talk to us this morning about her experience with meditation and life and lifelong learning and study and awareness and consciousness and all those things, right?
Yes.
And I'm excited. Sarah's I've been kind of following Sarah for, I don't know, the last couple of years, and she writes really, really well, and expresses herself quite vulnerably on Facebook and Instagram and really shares with her community her growth and her experience and at a deep level. What I find is happening often in the planet is that folks don't have a lot of self-awareness, and Sarah has that and sees what's going on and where it could possibly lead and the possibility of dropping through it into the openness, into the space, and so I'm excited to hear more of what she has to share. Now, before we start, though, well, we're kind of started, but before we start, I want to light a candle. I love having the significance of, like spirit in the room, and the candle kind of, to me, is significant of that. Like another entity, the third entity, maybe love in the room. And we're going to set the candle right here, and yeah, can signify love, can it?
Sure.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing these last few weeks with it's our business is Valley and Beyond and Project Awakening, and my mission, our mission, is to lift the vibration of the planet one meditator at a time, and we have. We're into it. We have skin in the game. We have created these amazing meditation stools that Sarah and I are sitting on, and altars and all the stuff that goes with creating meditation spaces. And in the beginning, I thought that's what I would be doing, is selling meditation spaces. And what it's turned out is that we're really helping people tap into the possibility of meditation. And in my inquiry out there, I found that a huge percentage of people were saying, well, I should meditate, or I would like to meditate, or I don't know how, or it doesn't work for me, or there's just a lot of misinformation or confusion around meditation to a great extent. And it's like a wave, though. People are wanting to, and Deepak is saying meditate, and Oprah's saying meditate, and every yoga teacher on the planet is saying meditate. And so it's really catching on, but there's not a lot of information about the how-tos and that kind of thing. So that's what we've been doing in this broadcast on Monday mornings, and so watch right to the end. There might be some really cool stuff. I'm sure there will be. And so Sarah, tell us, when did you start meditating?
Well, I came into mindfulness and meditation probably in my early 20s. I had struggled with an eating disorder in my teens, and that led to a severe depression. And it was really hard to get out of that. And so depression is basically numbing the feelings, numbing yourself. I didn't want to feel anything except for the despair and hopelessness. But then after a certain point, I was like, hey, this is shitty. I don't want to feel this anymore. I want to feel something else. So I sought out a program for help, and it was called the LEAP Project, and it was all about mindfulness and gratitude and meditation to come back to wholeness and happiness. So that's when I started a mindfulness and meditation practice in my early 20s.
Wow. So that wasn't that long ago.
No. No, that was probably like 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
Thanks.
And it worked.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah. It kicked my depression.
Yeah.
I mean, I have bouts of depression, but maybe for a day or two at a time, not months and years. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we talked a few minutes ago about feelings, mm-hmm. and because you write often about feelings, and I mean, feelings are like signposts, aren't they? They're like it's kind of, feelings are cool.
Yeah.
And it's my experience that somehow, for me anyway, when I was young, I got this idea that I didn't want to feel feelings, and so, well, for me it wasn't eating. I drank, and when I was drinking, I didn't have to feel, but I've learned, and my experience has been that if I have a feeling, and I still do, lots of them, and
Yeah.
I'm great. I have some gratitude for that, and but a lot of times in our society, it seems like we're careful. We don't want to, we're like, we feel responsible for other people's feelings.
Yeah.
And we try to be careful.
Yeah.
And well, fuck that.
Yeah. Yeah. You're only responsible for your own feelings, not everyone else's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have compassion.
Yeah, of course.
And understanding and empathy when people are in their feelings, and I guess I'm conscious of that I can upset people.
Yeah.
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 And that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So tell us about your meditation. Do you find it easy? Do you find it?
My meditation. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I meditate for 22 minutes every morning, and it's great. And then sometimes I get really stressed, and I have other things going on in my life, and I'm like, oh, I can't sit down for 22 minutes, so I don't do it at all. But since that, I've come back to maybe I just do it for 1 minute or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and that's fine too. So my practice with meditation is still a struggle. I'm not perfect. I try to do it every morning. Sometimes it happens afternoon, sometimes evening, sometimes not at all. Sometimes it's a walking meditation. That's a nice practice when I walk my dog, and just be present, leave my phone at home, stop thinking about things.
So, like, be in your feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and being with nature.
Yes.
Yeah. Or movement meditation, because I'm a dancer. Movement is really good way for me to tap into spirit and source, and so just it's that mindless state of just being. So sitting is like the easiest way to get there, but there are other avenues that I use sometimes.
Well, for me, because I've been kind of working at meditation since like the late 70s.
Nice.
and I've always struggled with it, and I know that's kind of just part of it, I mean, I love it now when I drop in. It's like, oh, thank you, but like you just said, I can kind of drop in anywhere.
Yeah.
And into that space, I can drop in with a breath.
Yeah.
And so at a red light,
Great.
Yeah, my kids think I'm sleeping, but no. And
Well, the idea of meditation is that you actually drop into like the beta waves of your brain waves that are the same as deep sleep. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to tap into that really deep, restful place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what do you do with your thoughts?
Well, sometimes, depending how I am, I let my thoughts run because I need to. But sometimes I just pretend that they're on a cloud, and maybe I ride the cloud a bit, and maybe I let the cloud pass, and I trust that if that thought needs to come back, the cloud will come back. But yeah, I just trying to let the thoughts, because they're going to come anyway, so I don't judge them, just like, thank you for being there, let it go.
It's my experience that that we're not our mind.
Yeah.
And that it's like a tool.
Yeah.
And so instead of pushing it away, I'm kind of grateful for it. I say, well, thank you. Oh, thank you for that thought.
Yeah.
And then what comes up is that there's somebody else there. There's who's watching the mind. There's the other me, the bigger me in a way, or the and I encourage people when I'm talking to them about meditation so just watch your thoughts. just, and then I'll ask them, who do you think's watching your thoughts? And they're like, oh. And then it starts the beginning of, we're not just our mind.
Yes.
Or we're not just our body.
Yeah.
These are tools, and it carries around these little beings inside of us, or these huge beings inside of us.
Yeah.
So, who, like, if you had meditation teachers, who do you follow?
Who do I follow? I haven't had meditation teachers per se. I've had a lot of like spiritual teachers. I did my yoga teacher training, so one of my teachers' master was Osho, so I know some of his teachings. And then I've met some really interesting shamans, a Polish shaman this past year who's been a wonderful teacher for me.
I love Osho.
Yeah, and one of his teachers was Osho too. And then actually my Tantra teacher, one of his teachers was Osho as well. So I feel like all of my teachers are just like leading up to Osho.
Yes. I remember my first book of Osho's, he was Bhagwan Shirajnish before he was Osho. And I have lots of his books here, actually.
Cool.
So I've been a big fan of Osho. And I mean, in many ways, he changed the world. So it was, he's been amazing. One of my teachers, the fellow that I traveled with off and on for about 14 years, had been many, many years with Osho. The whole thing was, don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
And be here now. And like, really? Yes. Just be here now. And when I'm really here, when we're really here, there's nothing, this is it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else going on.
And
where I'm in trouble or struggle with my mind is in the past or some imagined future.
Yeah.
And so Paul, who I was with for many years, and many of us in Calgary really got blessed to spend time with him because he came here a lot, really helped us to be present, and we used to do mindful walking. Like you said.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be in your feet. And like,
Yeah.
And it's funny because lots of times when I'm trying to share about meditation, or the idea of being present is foreign to people. They're like, well, yeah, but.
Right.
And yeah. So tell us, how do you get to be present? Tough questions. Eh?
Yeah. I mean, I have many tools to be present. How do I get to be there? Yeah, sometimes I just find myself there. Like we're talking and I'm extremely present. I'm not thinking about the past or the future, what I might be saying, what you're saying. I'm just here. The breath is a really great tool for that.
On your silks?
Yeah. Well, yeah. On my silks, I'm very present because if I make a misstep, that's terrible. That could lead to disaster. So it's definitely like being with what is and being with how things are going. And
Same for me on my motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to be there.
Yeah.
And if you're somewhere else.
Yeah, big consequences.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Have you ever helped with like guided meditation? Could you do a little guided meditation for us?
Yeah, for sure.
And then maybe we'll chat a little bit after that.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 minutes or so, and
Okay.
and take us on a journey. I tell people that these meditation stools now, they're no longer meditation stools. They're transportation vehicles.
Awesome.
They take us into the fifth dimension.
Yeah.
Or beyond.
Yeah.
And so I have a little bit of fun with it. It's like they travel at millions of miles per second.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is sit on them.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like yoga mats or magic carpets.
Yes.
Same thing.
And, not take it too seriously, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, don't take it too seriously.
All right. Would you like to?
Yeah, of course. So for anyone watching and for us here, find a comfortable seat. If you have a stool, great. If you have something else to prop your hips up, that's great. So we just want a long spine. And then from there, you can close your eyes and take a nice deep breath into the belly. And exhale. And again, take another deep breath into the belly. And exhale. And I'll have you think of the energy coming down the root of your spine from your tailbone, whatever's sitting on the earth. Think of the energy going down into the earth like roots. All of the energy intertwining with the earth. The underground caves, the underground rivers, all the way down into the center of the earth, the core, the magma, the fire. And feel that energy coming back up through the roots. Bring those roots back up into your body, past all those underground caves, underground rivers, back up into your body. Feel that energy come into your core. And then think of energy coming out the top of your head, the crown, going out past the room that you're in, past the city, the clouds, past the atmosphere, up into the stars, the sky, the planets, and feel that expanding energy consciousness open. And then feel that energy come back down through the universe, through the galaxy, back through our atmosphere, past the clouds, back past the city, into the room, into your head, all the way down into your core. And feel those two energies mixing and mingling. And now I want you to visualize a big bonfire in front of you, a big, huge, transformational fire. And you can feel the heat of the fire on your face. You can hear the crackling. You might have to shield your eyes because it's really bright. And then I want you to disrobe in your mind, take all of your clothes off, and I want you to slowly walk towards the fire. And you walk into the fire, all the way into the middle, and you let yourself burn and be burned and flame. And then visualize the fire dissipating, and visualize you are just ashes at the bottom of the fire. And now see some smoke, some white, gray smoke coming up out of the fire. And from that smoke you are reshaped and reformed into this beautiful being that you are. And then from that you walk out of the ashes, walk back out to the earth, and come back to your body. Feel free to bring some awareness to your breath and how you might be feeling. feel the energy up along your spine. Feel the long spine, the energy rooting down into the earth, coming up the crown of your head. And with a nice breath, you can bring your awareness back to your body, back to the room.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. So what I've been sharing with people is that if they're not actively meditating, that 3 minutes is a good start. And when I say to folks all the time, so do you think you could sit for 3 minutes? And they say, well, sure. So start there. Start with 3 minutes. Start with 5 minutes, and build up. And there's lots of guided meditations on YouTube, and Sarah Bella has an Instagram page, and she has lots of great stuff on Sarah Bella Butterfly.
Yes.
Yes. And I think the butterfly has to do with the silks, does it, or not?
It's more transformation, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, being the caterpillar and then going in the cocoon, being the chrysalis and then busting out and
Nice.
the butterfly.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole metaphor.
Yes. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you do modeling as well.
Yeah.
And you teach yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it great that let's say hundreds of thousands of people have taken yoga teacher training, and they're like this army that's gone out there to turn the world onto meditation, onto consciousness, onto awareness, and because yoga's not just about postures, and
Yeah.
so you're a big part of that army.
Yeah, yeah. The asana is only one of the 10 limbs of yoga, so it's a very small part of the postures.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yoga's expansive,
Yeah.
and in the West, a lot of what we see is just the postures, and most yoga teacher trainers have gone deeper.
Yes.
And so they can bring that energy into the room when you're there, and I think that lots of folks are saying, well, I need to meditate at home, I need to practice at home, so we want to be part of that. We are part of that. And what I see with Sarah is that her mission, and I'm making this up, but her mission is to serve and to help people to awaken, and through her own awakening and her own example. And I appreciate that. I love that you do that so openly. Your example is probably much bigger than you're aware of. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Do you have any events coming up or anything that you want to tell people about?
Sure. I'm actually creating an online resource for meditations in a community for witches and warlocks, but anyone is welcome. I will be doing meditations on the new moon and the full moon every month, so it's an online platform so anyone from the world can join me. I'm only here in Calgary for another month, so some of those are happening in person. Then I'm moving to Victoria, so that's why the online. So
Victoria's exciting. You've got you're going to be part of a circus.
Yes.
Training and in a real facility that I was reading with proper ceilings.
20-foot ceilings, great rigging points.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun. And can we all come visit you in Victoria?
Sure.
Do you have a place yet?
No. Maybe.
Maybe. It'll all unfold,
right? It
will,
hopefully, yes.
Yeah. Just trusting the moment. And that is the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
just setting the attention and trusting that the universe it'll unfold as it's supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, trusting the unknown.
Good for you. And that's what we're doing here a lot with this. I have this huge vision with the meditation spaces, and next year we want to create 10,000 meditation spaces, and in the year after that we're looking at 25,000, and we're 50, and then 200, and those are the numbers we wrote down. It could be crazy small, it could be way more than that, and we're excited, and a lot of it is me just turning it over, actually getting out of the road, and because I really feel like it's something that's so in service to the planet, to mankind, and meditation and helping people create meditation spaces, and so that's why we're doing this on a regular basis, to kind of carry that message. And so that's I want to show you this just before I go.
Well, and part of the stools too is when you meditate, it's really good to have your hips elevated from your knees. So to sit on something, whether it's a stool or block, it's so important, because if you're sitting and crunching over, you can't let the energy flow in your spine properly. So.
Well, and I tell people, if they're on the couch, it's called napping.
Right.
and,
yeah.
And this is, and if they have a meditation space, we're more likely to do it.
100%.
To
have an altar and.
And yes, these just came in this weekend. This is I have a whole bunch of singing bowls that just came from Kathmandu, and
oh, beautiful!
Isn't that great? So I think I have about 75 of them or so that just came in. And you drop in and see us. We got just a swack of Tibetan prayer flags, and we're giving those away. There's a gift. You just have to come to the store, and we'll throw one in with anything on the mail order. Oh, one more thing. How much time do I have, Earl? Anyway, one more thing. There's this postal strike happening, and so I started thinking, because we're doing a lot of online business, if you're in Calgary, we'll deliver. We'll look after it. You don't worry. If you want to order online and you're in Calgary, we'll get it to you. And if you're outside of Calgary, just gamble. Anyway, love you guys. And oh yes, Earl reminds me of things. Earl's behind the scenes, and one day he's going to be in front of the camera. Actually, probably in a minute after we finish this, we're going to do a little video. We'd love it if you share this. And be part of this vision of lifting raising the vibration of the planet one meditator at a time. There's no possible way that we can do it without you. And so share this, and share our we're on Instagram, and we're really close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and at 1,000 something magic happens at YouTube, so we'd love it if you share or go in and subscribe to us on YouTube, Valley and Beyond, and like us on Facebook, and share our post, be part of what we're doing, and drop in and see us, and guaranteed hugs. Earl's here with me, and Earl loves to hug too, and we'll hug you for sure.
Free hugs.
Free hugs, yeah. Okay, love you guys. I think that's it. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye you guys.